Hello. Hello. Thank you for coming back to my channel today. Or thanks for coming for the first time if you're new. Tonight I'm making some fall chocolate chip pumpkin bread. I'm really excited. Now you just see me spraying the pan. And I put that parchment paper in there so you can make a hammock for the bread and lift it out. So then I'll link the recipe down below, but it calls for 2 cups of canned pumpkin. And I had a bit of leftover pumpkin pie filling from some other fall baking that I was doing. So I ended up just using about a cup of that and then a cup of the canned pumpkin. And that probably made the bread even sweeter, which I am not complaining about. Spoiler alert, at the time that I am recording this, I've already tried the bread and I can confirm it's really, really good. So this is a good recipe to try if you like pumpkin, like sweet treats, and want to do some fall baking. So that was 2 cups of canned pumpkin. I ended up doing half and half canned pumpkin and pumpkin pie filling. And then it calls for 4 eggs. So yeah, this does make 2 loaves as well. So really great if you want to keep one and give one to a friend. Or if you guys want to do it together, you can each take a loaf home with you, which is really nice. Then it calls for 2/3 of a cup of water and a cup of vegetable oil. So it seems like a lot, but this is basically a double recipe, so everything seems like it's calling for a lot, but it's only half in 1 loaf. Alright, now I just put in a teaspoon of allspice, a teaspoon of ground cloves, and half a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. And honestly, because I use the pumpkin pie filling and that already has a lot of flavor, I could have maybe even used less, but it turned out really, really good. So I think I'll just do the exact same thing next time. Okay, so then to a separate bowl, I'm adding the dry ingredients. And this consists of 3 cups of flour, all-purpose flour. And I'm using unbleached. And then 3 cups of white sugar. And it looks like I'm adding a ton of sugar, but I was using like a 1/4 cup or 1/3 of a cup or something. So that's why I'm dipping into the sugar so many times to get 3 cups. And yeah, I'm mixing the dry ingredients in this bowl, and then I'm going to beat with my hand mixer the wet ingredients. Slowly add in the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. Just so that all the powder and everything doesn't fly everywhere while it's being beaten with the hand mixer. So then I'm adding to this, I'm adding half a teaspoon of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, and a teaspoon of kosher salt. And then all I'm going to do is just stir that all in together. And I didn't even sift it, to be honest, which is pretty bad, but sometimes I don't sift it because the sifter I have is so small that to do 3 cups of flour, it would just take so long. But it turned out fine, at least what I sampled so far. It wasn't clumpy or anything like that. Okay, so then I'm taking my hand mixer and I'm beating the wet ingredients on medium speed for just as long as it takes for everything to be well combined. as per the instructions in the recipe. And it was smelling really, really good at this point. And the batter, dangerous, says don't eat raw egg or raw flour, but if you do happen to accidentally try a little, like I did, it tastes really, really, really good. Really sweet, which I love. Alright, so that's all combined, and then you can see me here just adding a little bit of the dry ingredients, just a little at a time. And this I find it so satisfying to watch everything coming together and being incorporated. And honestly, this is such a huge batch since it's making 2 loaves that I wondered if it was even going to fit in the bowl. I don't know if you can tell, but as I'm adding more of the dry ingredients, the bowl is getting really, really full. And I wondered if it was going to overflow, but it ended up working. So I think this is a 2-quart bowl, maybe? I'm not sure. Or 1-quart bowl. I don't know. Anyway, it just barely fit, so this was a perfect size bowl for the job. There goes the last of the dry ingredients. And we're mixing it all together until it's just combined. And then we're going to add in the part of our bread that makes it a little chocolatey, which are the semi-sweet chocolate chips. And the recipe calls for half a bag of semi-sweet chocolate chips, which I believe half a bag is 1 cup. So I put 1 cup in, and from what I sampled, that was a great amount. You could still really taste the pumpkin, but it had a lot of nice chocolatey pieces in it. So I'm not going to beat the chocolate chips in, I'm just kind of folding them in with the spoon there. I want them to be nicely incorporated, although they did end up just kind of sinking towards the bottom a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. Oh, and it's just looking so good. This is a great, great, great recipe. I would say it's just as good as banana bread, which is one of my favorite sweets. Oh, so you're going to see me do something really depressing here. I've got my hammock for the batter, and it folds in on itself, just like that. So I just left it because it was too far gone, but it's fine because all it does is help you to pull it out. But in the end, I just took a knife around that edge where it had folded in, and it still came out really nice and easy. So then the second loaf almost did the same thing, but it didn't, thank goodness. And yeah, it makes 2 very large loaves. So the other one I'm going to give away to somebody, and one I'm going to keep and eat myself. So I'm sprinkling on a few more chocolate chips. The recipe says feel free to do that. And I, of course, had to take advantage of that. I'm not sure. I think I have 1/3 of a cup there. So I think I put roughly 1/3 of a cup on each loaf. So yeah, they're not the healthiest ever, but they were really, really good. It was a great fall indulgent treat. And into the oven they go, 350 for about an hour is what it took. And they come out looking golden like that. It's magic. And they looked so good. They smelled so good and they tasted so good. So they're done when you stick a cake tester in or a toothpick and they come out clean. So this is a demonstration of the hammock. Works so well, super easy to pull it right out. And there they are. Oh my gosh, they're glistening. They look so good. And I'm just reminiscing on how good they ended up tasting. So after I let it cool for quite a while, maybe 20 minutes or so, I decided to slice it open. I couldn't wait any longer, had to try it. And it was like the perfect consistency. It was really moist and delicious. And this recipe is a banger. I would definitely recommend trying it if you are looking for something fall, something pumpkin, something easy. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you really, really soon. Bye.